How about you?
What?
The Uzi album?
What about it?
I've been listening to it nonstop.
Really?
Yes, dude. It's such a good album to listen to in
Oh,
the gym. Like
yeah.
every time I'm working out, I've been working out the past couple of days.
hmm
Dude, I don't know, it just hits. It just hits.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So, welcome back to the Salty Ones podcast. Today, we're going to talk about the album that Lil Uzi Vert just dropped, the Pink Tape. We're gonna do a full review on it, and later we're gonna talk about NBA free agency. This is something that you've been like hyping up for the past couple
I've
of
been,
months.
yeah, I have.
You've
I
been ready
have.
to listen to it, so
I
I'm gonna
have.
ask you right away. How do you feel about this album?
I'm gonna be totally honest.
Yeah.
I was a little underwhelmed.
Oh, okay. Explain.
Well, okay, like the album itself. Well, okay, the album wasn't bad. Like I thought it was pretty good. I like, in my opinion, that's like a 7. I'd say.
Okay, so that's a decent
It was,
rating.
yeah.
Decent.
It was the same problem I had with like Donda because of the fact that there were so many like filler songs.
Yeah, there was a lot of songs. There was like
Yeah, I
what
wasn't.
26
Yeah, it
songs?
was 26. Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, that was like one problem I had with it. But like a good portion of them were pretty good.
Mhm. Yeah.
Uh, I'm also a little upset that the All of the Lights song was not on this album because
Mhm.
that was like the one song I was really looking forward to.
Yeah. There was probably a bunch of songs he couldn't put on there. Like the
Yeah,
one thing I was looking forward to for the Pink Tape was seeing Playboy Cardi on this album, because Uzi and
right,
Playboy Cardi, they have a very good
right,
they're good, they're a great duo every time they hop on a
hmm
track. So the
right.
fact that he wasn't on there kind of stinks. Like a
Yeah,
song like Suicide Doors, which is like my favorite song on the album.
yeah,
I thought Cardi should have been on a song like that, because I'm not gonna lie, the first 10 tracks sounded just like Whole Lotta Red. It had like a similar
yeah,
vibe to it, like the
right,
production and everything. And I feel like if you have that type of, if you have Playboy Cardi on that type of beat, because there was plenty of tracks that I felt like you could just insert Playboy Cardi on there and it
yeah,
would have gone crazy. But regardless,
right,
so you gave it a 7 out of 10. So
yeah.
you said it was a little bit too long.
It was
I
a
I
little bit too long for me. I think if you cut out like, maybe like 6 to 7 of the songs, I think it would have been perfect.
you know
I think it would have been a lot better.
I think the Pink Tape should have been a double album in my
I think it
opinion.
should have been too.
Because if you notice, after the first 12 to 13 tracks, Uzi goes down like a rock
It
wave.
does.
He starts
Yeah.
like experimenting with a lot of rock music, and
Yeah.
I did like it. I'm not gonna lie, I actually did
Yeah.
enjoy it a lot.
hmm
But it's like when you have a 26 song album, it's kind of hard to get through. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it's like, I think it's fair for Uzi, because it's like he hasn't dropped an album in over 3
He
years.
hasn't.
So I
Right.
could cut him some slack on that one. Whereas like
Right.
with other artists in the rap industry that drop every year, they're dropping 20 song albums, which can get
Right.
redundant and repetitive.
Exactly.
Whereas with Uzi, it's like he don't drop music that frequently. So I think
Yeah.
it's deserved that, dropping 26 songs makes sense for him, at least.
Yeah.
Um, so give me your top three favorite tracks on the album.
Uh, Suicide Doors is definitely up there.
Yes.
Uh, I mean like
I'm gonna bring up the track list. Yeah.
yeah. Yeah. I'm looking at it right now. Yeah. So Suicide Doors is definitely up there. This is in like no particular order, by the way.
Okay.
Nakamura was really cool. I
Nakamura
actually kind
was
of like
crazy,
that
bro.
was a bit of a cool. That was a cool concept. I actually kind of liked
Yeah, he
that.
sampled Shinsuke Nakamura's WWE theme. That was
Yeah.
hard, bro. That was hard.
And uh, either Crush 'Em or Amped. I don't know.
Oh, okay, okay. I'm not gonna lie, I did like some of the rock songs that he did make. Like I loved
Yeah.
Werewolf. That shit was
Where,
nuts.
you know what? Werewolves. Yeah, Werewolves
Werewolf
also
was
pretty good.
crazy.
Yeah,
I also like Patience. Suicide Doors is my favorite song on the album.
yeah,
Um, what else? Zoom was a leak. Zoom was a
yeah,
bonus track that he added at
yeah.
the end. That
Right.
was a leak that I heard a couple years ago, so I'm glad
Yeah.
he added some leaks on there.
hmm
I fucked with that heavy. Fire Alarm was weird as fuck. I ain't
Fire
gonna
Alarm
hold
was
you.
Fire Alarm and CS were like
No, Fire Alarm to me, like when I first heard, like the first 10 first like no, the first 30 seconds of the track, I'm like, okay, this is a skip. But when the beat drops and he switches his entire flow, I'm like, oh shit, what the fuck is this? Like, it starts hitting. CS, I'm not gonna lie, it's rendition of Chop Suey, like an
yeah,
iconic
I know.
rock
And,
song.
I like.
I don't think it was good. That's
I
like my
didn't think it
least
was that
favorite
good.
track. Yeah, I'm not gonna
Yeah.
hold you. And Yeah, I wish there were a little bit more. I wish there were some more features on this.
Yeah, I think the whole point of this album was to show, because I feel like because a good portion of like Uzi's albums were like had a lot of features on it.
Mm.
I think the whole point of it of like this album was like to show like other people that like or to show everyone that like he can just like make stuff on his own. He doesn't have to like rely on features.
I mean, he's been doing that. I mean, if you
Yeah,
look at Uzi versus the World,
right. Yeah, like there's like
no
a
features on that.
yeah.
You know, so he's capable of doing that. I feel like I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of getting tired of seeing Don Toliver and Travis Scott on every album. While they're very good artists, it gets repetitive.
Well, Travis is big now, mainly just because of the fact that
No,
Utopia
I
is
love
releasing.
Travis, dude. I love Travis, but I don't think
Yeah.
he should have been on this album.
I
I
don't think he
believe
should have
he had the
either.
weak. In my opinion, I believe he had the weakest feature
He
on
did.
this
I,
album.
and,
I did
and
not
personally,
like the verse.
I didn't like it. Yeah,
It was mid.
A was
At best,
okay.
it was mid. It was mid.
Yeah,
Nicki had a good feature.
yeah,
Don Toliver was decent. I ain't gonna lie.
yeah. He wasn't bad.
But in my opinion, if I were to give it a rating, when I first listened to it, I gave it a 7.5 out of 10.
Yeah.
But my rating has went up to an 8 because
Okay.
it's starting to hit a little bit more. I feel
Yeah.
like I'm not gonna lie. The first 10 tracks to me, outside of Spin Again, the shit went crazy. Like
Yeah.
like I don't know if you, bro. You should listen to this album in the gym. It goes nuts.
That's
Like,
true.
There's a lot
Like
of gym music.
I definitely do
songs
feel
in
like
here.
that. Yeah, I definitely do feel like this album's really good for just like going like if you're gonna go like the gym and like work out.
It does, bro. It does.
Yeah.
I was hitting PRs with this album, bro. Yeah. So overall thoughts, it was decent.
It wasn't bad. It was just I was a little underwhelmed. Like maybe that's just me like kind of upset at the fact that all the light sample like was not featured on any of the songs.
Yeah. I mean, Uzi did state that he said this during like a live stream with somebody else on Twitch. He said
I think it
that
was
he has
Ty.
yeah. No, it was somebody else. It wasn't.
Oh, someone else. Oh, okay then.
I saw a clip of it on Twitter.
Uh,
Uzi did state that he has another album coming. Like he might drop another one.
this year or
Yeah.
like
Somebody.
oh
like,
okay then.
Somebody asked him, "Is he gonna drop a deluxe to the Pink Tape?" And he said, "No, I'm dropping another album." So you
Yeah.
know how like after Uzi dropped Eternal
Yeah.
Take, he dropped Uzi versus the World too.
Right. Yeah.
So he might do something like that.
Yeah. Honestly, and I'm okay with that because if
I'm up
because
for it too. I want more Uzi songs. I ain't gonna
well
lie.
because one if because it doesn't really make a lot of sense to do like another Pink Tape. Like to be honest, or to do a deluxe version, especially if a lot of the songs that he's planning to release on this next album are not the same kind of vibe, it doesn't really make a lot of sense.
Exactly, and even with the Pink Tape, those bonus tracks is basically a deluxe.
It's
You know?
basically deluxe, yeah.
It's basically a deluxe.
It's
album.
basically. at
And
this point.
26 is already overkill in my opinion. That's a
26
fuck
is
ton of
overkill.
songs.
Personally, I think like albums should be at like at max like 15 songs.
15 or less. That's my
Yeah.
bread and butter when it
Yeah.
comes to listening to albums. If you got a 15-song album, I'm gonna listen to it. I'm gonna
Yeah.
listen to it. Travis is hyping up Utopia.
Travis is hyping it up.
That rollout is starting to become more apparent.
Yeah.
I'm starting to see a bunch of clips on Twitter and pictures
Yeah.
of him. Like, you know how like other celebrities are holding like suitcases and shit.
Yeah.
Of, like it says like Utopia. I seen a
Yeah.
bunch of I seen a
Right.
bunch of pictures like that. So
Yeah.
he's gonna have to start. He's gonna be dropping that album soon. I'm pretty sure he's gonna drop it later this month.
So release date has been confirmed for July 21st.
Oh really? July.
Yes.
When was this stated? On his Instagram or some shit?
Yes.
Oh, for real? Oh, okay. I'm off
Or-
Instagram. that's
So
why.
somewhere on his thing or like it was just like leaks and stuff like that. So I mean take it with a grain of salt, but it's chances are it's probably gonna be released at some point this month.
Yeah, it's gonna happen this month, or
Yeah.
at the latest, early next month. But here's the
Yeah.
thing, bro. This album needs to be good, bro.
This album needs to be good, yeah.
It's been 5 years since he dropped Astroworld. 5
He's-
years.
Yeah, and it's also the fact that because what happened at like the whole incident like a couple of years back.
That pushed
with, like,
back everything. Yeah.
Yeah, it pushed everything back.
He had to push back that rollout for like 2 years. 'Cause of
Yeah.
that stuff. And he had like a court case for it, and he was found not guilty. So
Yeah.
now he's like scot free from that shit. Which
Yeah.
it was an unfortunate tragedy.
No pun intended.
Yeah, unfortunately. But it's like for this album, I feel like Travis needs to deliver, and I feel like
Yeah.
he has to have. I hope he goes a different direction.
I hope so
Because
too.
even after dropping Astroworld, he did a bunch of features. He's still dropping features, but it's starting to feel a little bit repetitive.
Right.
And I really hope he finds a new lane to be down in terms of his music. Because Travis is a
Right.
very, compared to someone like Uzi and Cardi, Travis can get somewhat, I mean, like them, he can get somewhat repetitive.
He
Um,
can. Yeah.
but what I've noticed that with every album that he has dropped, like Rodeo, Birds in the Trap, and Astroworld, he has a
Yeah.
different theme. So I'm hoping when
Yeah.
it comes to Utopia, he brings something new to the table,
Yeah.
right? While adding on top of the stuff that he had before.
Right.
And hopefully he has some good features as well.
Well, some of the features that we have that have been or like that we know about, The Weeknd's definitely going to be on it in some capacity, and Bad Bunny. So,
Really?
yes.
Damn, how's that gonna work? Bad Bunny is not really oh, maybe he makes a
Yeah.
Spanish
Well, I mean,
Latin track.
like, I have a feeling that he'll definitely make it work.
Maybe.
Yeah.
If Drake is probably gonna be on there as well.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, bro. I think Drake should hang it up. He should
Make sure
retire.
hang it up. Yeah.
Bro, I'm getting so tired of his music, bro.
I know.
Like I feel like he ever since he got out of his contract, he's been dropping
Yeah.
an album every single year.
Yeah, and it's like, and at this point, it's not even like that. So one thing is that like Drake at this point, this point in his career, he's like a marketable rapper. He's not like an actual good one. That doesn't mean like he's good at all.
I mean,
He's just
I want to say
pumping
he's
out
not
albums.
good. I want to say he's not good, but I agree with your later point. He's just pumping out music.
He's pumping out
Whatever
music,
he
and it's
wants.
like,
And
and
it's
because
like-
that it's dipping in quality.
Yeah, true. I feel like he is sacrificing quality just to get the
Yeah.
quantity of music out. He did announce that his next album called All the Dogs, which was
Yeah.
which was rumored to drop when the Pink Tape dropped last Friday.
Yeah.
This past Friday, but it's gonna be moved to later this month or
Yeah. I figured.
sometime this summer. So we're gonna have to wait for that because it's crazy because Drake is dropping every year, if not
He's
like
dropping every
eight-
year.
not even every year, literally every like 6 months
Yeah.
at this point.
Yeah, in June he dropped like Honestly Nevermind, and then 6 months later, or like 5 months later, he dropped Her Loss.
Yeah, and then 6 months after that, or whatever, like probably
Right.
the next 2 months, he's gonna drop All the Dogs. Which
Yeah.
I'm gonna say right now, it's probably gonna be a little bit mid. It's probably
It's
going to be
it probably
mid.
is. It probably is.
Unfortunately,
Yeah.
I just hope, like for me, I really want Drake to like step away from the music game for like a couple years,
Yeah.
and then come back with like a really banging album.
Right.
That's why I feel like people like Kendrick and J. Cole always deliver when they drop. It's
Right.
because you get to learn from their perspective because they take time off.
Yeah.
Like Drake at this point, he's kind of sacrificed that type of music because he's already done it before so many
Right.
times with, Take Care, Nothing Was the Same, which are
Yeah.
to this day.
If you're reading
his
this, it's too late.
Yeah, an album like that as well, a project like that, which are to this day his best projects.
Yeah.
When people rank Drake albums, people bring up those three,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. So I just pulled up like some of like the rumored track listing for like Utopia. So a good portion of these songs have a lot of features on them.
Mm.
I'm gonna say right now, the one song that I think is gonna be the worst is probably gonna be In My Head with Sci-Hi and Sway Lee, because Sway Lee is only good when it comes to Spider-Man stuff.
That's
Like-
funny as shit, bro. That's
It's
low
so-
key facts. Low key
It's so
facts.
it's like he's so like it's not even a joke at this point. He's like only good when it comes to anything like Spider-Verse related.
I mean, he's good at making hooks. That's it.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, but no, that's low key funny though because that's what
Yeah.
he's known for the past couple of years.
Yeah, exactly.
Sway Lee's just known for hopping on a Spider-Man album, right, and then just
Yeah.
dropping a banger hook. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
A banger song.
So a majority of songs that there's people like James Blake who was featured on Metro's soundtrack for Spider-Verse. Kid Cudi's gonna be on it as well.
Yeah. I'm not gonna
Yeah.
lie, Metro Boomin has been on a crazy roll.
He has been like
From his own album, the Spider-Verse
yeah.
album.
Heroes and Villains was amazing.
Heroes and Villains is still one of the best rap albums that came out this year. I
Yeah,
know it came out in
it's-
December, but it counts for this
Yeah, I
year.
know. It's
Yeah.
still amazing.
So before we move on to the NBA stuff, what would you say is rap album of the year so far?
Rap album of the year.
'Cause I'm not gonna lie, like hip hop this year has been somewhat underwhelming the past
It
6
has
months.
been.
We haven't
Yeah.
really got anything exciting as of late until like Uzi drops.
Y-
I mean,
Yeah.
this past month in June, this has been. I mean, June has been the most exciting month for hip hop because you have
Yeah.
albums like Gunna and Young Thug and now Uzi.
Right.
So yeah, who would you say has the best album this year for
I
rap?
don't know. If we're counting like the Spider-Verse soundtrack, maybe. I
Yeah,
don't know if we can. I don't know if we can count that though.
you can count that. You can count that. It's hip hop.
Yeah, that's definitely up there.
I would say for now, I would still give it to Heroes and Villains.
That's true. Yeah,
But
yeah, you know what? That's true.
but I loved Gunna's album. Gunna's album
Yeah,
was heat, bro. I think
that's
he went
fair.
15 for 15 plus no
Really,
features. Yeah, I didn't
that's
think
true.
he
Yeah,
missed.
he did it with no features.
And I
So,
think his album was way better than Young Thug's. And Young Thug had
that's
two
fair.
Drake features, bro.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. Anything else you want to say before we move
Nope.
on? Okay,
Nope.
so moving on to NBA free agency. So the last time we talked, our last episode, we did some predictions for the NBA offseason.
Hmm.
We did talk about potential trades and who's
Yeah,
going to go where. Now, the NBA free agency period has started.
it has
Today's
officially
day
begun.
2 at the time of this
Hmm.
recording. Um, who do you think so far? It's only been 2 days. Has had the best free agency among all 30
Honestly,
NBA
like
teams?
if I'm saying anything, the Lakers have had a really good one.
Facts. Oh my
Yeah,
god, the
they
Lakers.
they re-signed Austin Reeves and Rui. Like they got they got Cam Reddish, Jackson Hayes. They got a lot of bench pieces like
They got
Torian
Gabe
Prince.
Vincent.
Yeah, they did get Gabe
That's a
Vincent. That was
great
another.
signing,
That was
by
a
the way.
that was a very great signing.
And it's like, yeah, and it's like this is what I've been saying about the Lakers. For the LeBron and AD era, for them to succeed, you don't need to bring in another star, right? Like the
Yeah,
Russell Westbrook trade was the biggest mistake because it just wasted a year
yeah.
off
It
Bron's
was not
prime.
good.
And Russell Westbrook just did not fit that system, unfortunately.
He
As much
didn't.
as I liked Russ, he didn't fit, right? It
Yeah,
was apparent. Once he went to the Clippers, he started playing a lot better, had a
yeah.
better
He was playing
role.
a lot better.
With the Lakers, it just didn't make sense.
It
And it's
didn't.
like, I know when the start of free agency, everyone wanted to see Kyrie go to the Lakers. We were discussing it, but I don't know what you said about it, but in my opinion, I didn't think it would be the right move to get Kyrie, which I'm glad
Yeah.
that they did it.
Thinking about it now, it was not. It probably wasn't.
Yeah, yeah. So, you know, Kyrie also signed to Dallas. 3
Yes,
years, 130 mil or some shit like that.
126 million.
Yeah, some shit like that. So he's gonna stay for a couple of years. But I agree with you. I think the Lakers so far has completely destroyed free agency.
Yeah,
I think they have been easily the best team among all 30 teams in this free agency period. If I were to
yeah,
give a ranking, like an A B C D
yeah.
ranking,
Hmm.
I'm giving it S tier free agency, bro.
Yeah,
I give it
yeah,
S. No, no,
yeah.
no cap.
I'd say S.
Cause here's the
Like
thing.
like
Go ahead, my bad.
Yeah, like already off the bat, like we haven't even like finished free agency, but like they can if they sign maybe like a couple more pieces, like who knows what could happen.
Exactly. And when you look at this team from the post trade deadline, they
Yeah,
went from one of the worst teams in the West to making the Western Conference Finals as a 7th seed, by the way.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? So that alone is already impressive from the pieces they
hmm,
had. And they didn't have a full season to play together when they
right,
had that change. They didn't go through a training camp either. So chemistry was kind of off. And they
right,
only really hit their stride once they got into the playoffs. But and by
right.
only then, the only team that really could have beaten them was the Nuggets, who at
What
that
was the
point
Nuggets?
had the
Yeah,
best player in the world. And we saw what happened with that. But
yeah,
for them to add on to pieces and keep the pieces that made them successful in the first place, keep Austin Reeves, keep
yeah,
Rui Hachimura, and then
right.
sign guys like Torian Prince, Cam Reddish, Jackson Hayes, Gabe Vincent.
Exactly.
Those are shooters, man. And we saw in 2020 the reason why the Lakers won that championship in the bubble is because
The
you gave
shooters.
LeBron and AD shooters, as you
Right.
said, right? And guess what the Lakers got? They got snipers. Gabe Vincent's a
Yeah,
3-point shooter. Torian Prince is a
yeah,
3-point shooter. You know what I'm saying? Austin
yeah,
Reeves is a great shooter as well.
yeah.
So it's
And
like
he'll probably like
he's gonna
develop more.
develop, yeah.
Yeah,
And he had a great playoff run, and he's
he
only gonna
did.
get better.
Yeah.
So looking at this
So
Lakers team, man, like I really like the only
I'm
thing
kind of
they
excited.
need now,
I'm excited what's gonna happen with them.
bro. I think they're easily a contending team in the West.
I think they're top 3 seed in the West,
Oh,
definitely.
for sure. Like a full season, barring that Bron and AD stay healthy, of course.
Yeah,
Because this team is built around Bron and AD staying
it
healthy.
is.
It is. If
Yeah,
AD goes down or Bron goes down, this team, they'll be a playoff team, but I don't know about contention. The
Yeah.
two best players have to stay healthy. But looking
Yeah.
at it right now, they are easily a contending team in the West. They're trying to
Yeah.
maximize Braun, of course. Braun
Yeah.
only has a year or two left before he probably leaves LA to play with Bronny when Bronny comes into the league. That being
Yeah.
said, I'm very excited to see.
I'm
the
very excited
Lakers.
too. So I want to go through some of the major free agent signings,
Yeah, go ahead.
and I just want you to give me like a letter grades, like A, B, C, like A plus, you know, all that stuff, right? I'm just gonna go over some of the major ones. So the first one on my list that I see is Jeremy Grant.
Oh, signing with the Blazers.
Yes. Okay, what's your grade? Because I already know mine.
That's a C minus.
Yeah, that's like a C minus. This is literally the equivalent of like the Josh Hart trade, but like Josh Hart at least proved, not Josh Hart, it was Jalen Brunson.
Jalen Brunson, yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, that's the difference.
like
I mean, the difference between Jalen Brunson and Jeremy Grant is that Jalen Brunson was already balling out in the playoffs.
yeah, he already was. Jeremy Grant has never really proven like he's good.
He's a solid player.
But is he $30 million
Yeah,
good?
exactly. Which shows you like how good of a contract Jalen Brunson has.
Right.
Because he's a
But like
borderline
in retrospect,
all-star.
it's a lot better.
Yeah, he's a borderline all-star. And looking
Yeah.
at the new CBA, players
Yeah.
of a caliber less than Jalen Brunson are getting paid even more than him, such as
Yeah.
Jeremy Grant, for example.
Right.
It's kind of funny that they did sign Jeremy Grant because literally the
Yeah.
next day after, Dame requested a trade
Yeah,
and he wants to
it's
go to
funny.
Miami.
Yeah.
So
He's gonna go to Miami. We all know. Okay, so next one, Fred VanVleet.
to the Rockets. I mean,
Yes.
I wouldn't say okay signings. Shit. I'll give this a C plus, B minus.
I'll give it a C. I give it a C plus too, mainly because of the fact. Okay, because Fred VanVleet's good, but like I don't think he's worth 40 million.
He's not. He's
I
not.
think I think he's more worth like 25, 30 million.
Well, here's the thing: the Rockets signing him is good. It's just
Yeah,
you
it's just
know,
a kind of a bit of an overpay.
I mean, here's the thing: like, I can't really judge that like overpay or underpay because here's the thing:
Yeah.
it's like these guys just got their money.
Right.
We'll see how good of a contract they really have.
Yeah, exactly.
Until we actually see them play. So, for
Yeah.
example, the Jalen Brunson shit. When the Knicks first signed him, the entire NBA world was clowning the Knicks for signing Jalen Brunson
I mean,
to a $100 million contract.
Well, it was because of the fact that it wasn't even just because of the fact that it definitely was not just because he was like a six man for like the Mavericks or whatever.
He's a starting point guard.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, yeah, the starting point off the Mavericks. It wasn't even just that. I think it was also the fact that he was unproven. He had no really up to that point in his career. He had not many like accolades. He was just kind of like an average point guard.
At best, he just had that good playoff run. That's what he was.
Yeah.
known for. The Knicks took a
That's what he
gamble.
was known for. So
Yeah.
people were like, he can't, like, that's not exactly something you sign a player for. You need to
Exactly.
win games in like the regular season
I mean,
too.
he helped Luka,
He did.
lead the Mavericks to the Western
He
Conference
did.
Finals. So
Right.
he was proven at that point. Just people didn't know what he could really.
People just
do.
didn't think he was worth like
Exactly.
that type of
And
money.
That's the thing. We shouldn't, for me, I've seen somebody talk about this on YouTube. I seen another NBA YouTuber talk about it. He makes a great point of you shouldn't really judge these guys on their money
You can't.
because it's like you don't know how well they're gonna play.
Right.
So seeing someone like Jeremy Grant sign for 4 years, 160 million, or
It's like 5 years.
VanVleet, yeah, 5 years. Van Vliet signing for 130 million.
Yeah.
You can't really judge them now on the money because people are saying holy overpay or whatever. But-
Exactly.
And in a couple years we can make that judgment because
Yeah, we can start to like look back and say like, yeah, that was like at the time an overpay.
Yeah, we'll see if their performance is warranted of that money. But for
Right.
now, it's like you just gotta congratulate these guys for even getting a bag. For someone like Fred VanVleet, bro, he's an undrafted player, right?
Yeah.
He's been cut multiple times. I don't know if you've seen that video of Van Vliet holding like a draft party and he didn't get
Yeah.
drafted.
And he didn't get drafted.
And did you
Yeah,
hear
I
his
remember
speech?
seeing
That
that.
shit was fire, bro.
Yeah.
He had a speech where he's like, I didn't get drafted tonight, but I'm still gonna celebrate my journey. It wouldn't make sense if I did get drafted. And now
Right.
he's making 130 million the next couple
Exactly.
of years.
So, I mean-
people are getting their backs. Tyrese
Yeah.
Halliburton, him getting 260 million.
That is a
Indiana?
shocker. Yeah.
What would you
To
rate
be-
that?
Halliburton's nice though.
No, Hallie's nice, bro.
Yeah, I'd say A minus.
I give it A minus as well because he's
Yeah,
gonna
because
develop into
he
a
is-
stud.
Yeah, he's gonna develop into like a dog. Oh my god, he is so good.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Instead of moving from players ratings, let's talk about teams because like rating
Yeah.
the team's free agency. So you know how I give the Lakers a S tier, or
Yeah.
you probably give the
Mhm.
Lakers a plus on free agency.
I'd say
Or
I'd say
A?
like A.
A.
Yeah. Like
Okay,
yeah.
I'll give it A as well. A
Yeah.
plus.
Yeah.
Let's. I'll name you teams and then you just give me a rating.
Okay. All
So
right.
the Rockets, start with that.
I'd say B.
Yeah. So they
Because
signed Van Vliet.
you signed, yeah, so you signed Fred VanVleet. Who else did they sign?
They signed Dylan
Yeah,
Brooks.
you signed Dylan Brooks. I don't know about that. Like
Uh,
whoever Jock Landale is.
Jock Landale was basically the starting center for the Suns when DeAndre Ayton
Right.
started playing like shit. He's actually
Yeah.
a decent backup center,
Yeah.
and he
Fair.
has
Yeah.
playoff
Like
experience.
yeah. You got Jeff Green, who's okay.
They
Like
did sign Jeff Green.
that gives you veteran presence.
Yeah.
You know, like you
I'm not-
can like that
yeah.
helps teach you like young guys and stuff like that.
Exactly. You gave it what, a B? B minus?
Yeah.
I would give it a B plus. Because here's
Okay.
the thing: you don't need to sign star power.
Y-
Because
y-
you guys,
yeah,
you
especially
have
with the
guys
new
like you have guys like Jalen Green, Amen Thompson. You got
Yeah.
Cam Whitmore. You
you did get
Jabari
Amen Thompson. I
Parker.
forgot about that.
You know what I'm saying? You have a lot of
Yeah.
good young talent you can develop into
Right.
superstar potential. So
Exactly.
you don't need to go crazy on that. And
Yeah.
then bringing in vets like Jeff Green, even Dylan Brooks, even though he can be a clown sometimes.
He's a bit of a cancer.
He
like,
can
around the
set
league.
a tone for that locker room. Even though he's a
Yeah.
cancer for other teams, he's not a cancer for their own team.
Right.
He's the one thing I can respect about Dylan Brooks is that he set a culture in Memphis, and he's gonna set that
Yeah.
culture again in Houston.
Yeah.
Which Houston needs that development. They need that that guy, a rough rider like a Patrick Beverly, veteran
Yeah.
presence. That's what they
Right.
need. And then Fred VanVleet, he's a solid potential borderline all-star point guard.
Yeah.
Which he was. He was an all-star point guard a couple
He,
years ago.
he was an all-star. Yeah.
I know he had a bit of a down year in Toronto, but he's gonna bounce
Yeah.
back. So
I think he'll definitely bounce back.
yeah,
Yeah.
so Houston, I'm not gonna lie, looking at that team, they look good. Like
yeah.
even though they're not gonna be a contending team, they can be a playoff team. For
I think
sure.
I think play in. Yeah.
Play into playoff,
Yeah.
some shit like that. But
So-
they made some good moves, even
Yeah.
for the
They
draft
did.
as well.
Yeah.
Let's move on to the Pacers, Indiana Pacers. Give me a rating.
Aside from the Halliburton move, they signed Bruce Brown, which I think is a bit of an overpay for him, like specifically. Look, like I know we went through like the whole conversation of like you can't say these players are overpaid, but again, Bruce Brown is another one of those guys who just had a good like finals run.
He had a great playoff run. He's the reason
Yeah,
why
he
they
had
won Game 5 at the end.
Yeah.
He got that layup. So
Like
he's honestly Bruce Brown became one of the best role players in the playoffs
Yeah.
during the Nuggets playoff run.
right.
I think he deserves that money because he came up huge off the bench,
Mhm.
and I feel
That's
like for
fair.
him to go to Indiana, he's gonna have a much bigger role. Not only
That's
that,
true.
the Pacers just got Obi Toppin.
They did.
From New York. So and
Yeah.
Obi Toppin, here's the thing. It's as a Knicks fan, it sucks that we have to get rid of him because he
Yeah.
was our lottery pick back in 2021.
Yeah.
So we've had him for the past 3 years, and we really didn't do much with him. Fuck you,
Yeah.
Tips. I don't know what you were doing with him. We never really utilized him properly, and I feel like him
Yeah.
going to Indiana, he's going to really. I feel like he's really going to take a step forward because he has that potential.
Right.
And they signed they signed somebody else, I forget, but I got to give them a B plus as well. Indiana's looking nice because they still
Yeah.
got Buddy Hield, they still got Miles Turner.
That's, yeah.
Like the Rockets, they could be a
I think they're
play-in
playing.
slash
I think they're
playoff
playing.
team.
Yeah.
Tyrese Halliburton's gonna get better over time, of course.
Halliburton's nice.
I think he's gonna have like a really big breakout year next year.
No, yeah,
because he was
for
an
sure.
all-star last year. He might even tap into that superstar potential that he has.
Yeah.
Which I think that's definitely gonna happen.
Yeah.
That team's gonna be fun to watch, just like the Rockets. They have a good young core. Gotta give them a B plus.
All right,
Moving
that's
on
fair.
from them, let's talk about the Golden State Warriors.
Damn.
It's only been 2 days, so
Yeah.
keep that in mind.
I think it's a C plus.
Who did they sign? C plus.
I said C plus.
Okay, give me a rating. Give me an explanation. Sorry.
So you had to re-sign Draymond at this point.
Oh, yeah,
you
true.
got rid of Jordan Poole. Like it was either him or Draymond. You had to re-sign him, and he's like an anchor. He's your anchor on defense, so you kind of have
Well,
to.
I'm asking about free agency, not off season.
Oh, just free agency.
Yeah.
Well, you know, actually, you know what? Like, I actually do want to change my rating thinking about it now.
Yeah, you can change it. That's why I questioned you initially.
Yeah. So, I have to say like a D at this point
Yeah,
because
I'm
you
not gonna
haven't signed
lie. I'll
anyone.
give it a D plus as well. I'll give it a D plus.
I give it like a D.
Here's the thing, like even I know it's only been 2 days and there's still a lot of good
Right.
players to be picked up, but it's like there's a bunch of guys that Golden State could have gotten to fill out the
Yeah.
roster. Because here's the thing, like Golden State still has the ability to win a championship,
No, obviously, like
even though
it's
like we
very
were saying
clear.
the dynasty was over. You
Yeah.
know, the one thing
As long as Steph Curry is still on the Warriors, they are still a contending team.
exactly. You just took the words right out of my mouth. And they're maximizing stuff right now. You know, they trade away Jordan Poole
Right.
for Chris Paul, who's essentially a win now type player. You
Yeah.
know? So I feel like for them to become, even more of a contending team, they're going to need pieces, right? They're going to need more shooting. They're going to need size, right?
Yeah.
Like, bro, if they play the Nuggets, Jokic is going to annihilate them. I'm
Oh
sorry.
yeah.
Jokic is putting up a 35, 17, and 10.
Yeah.
He
Exactly.
just is, bro. Like,
Yeah.
they're, Draymond Green, as much as, he's a great defender, one of the best of
Yeah.
all time, they're
Yeah.
going to need help, right? They're going to need help defending bigs like that. They're also going to need more guard play because even though you have Chris
Right.
Paul, you need scoring off the bench.
Right.
They lost Dante DiVincenzo. He came to my Knicks. He signed
Yeah.
yesterday. So they just lost another good guard.
Yeah.
I don't know what they're gonna do with Jonathan Kuminga. They still have some.
I think
good
they're. I think
guys.
I think they're like hoping that he develops into something
Yeah, because he has potential. Moses Moody,
because he has potential. Yeah.
young player as well. But
Mhm.
they need to sign a couple more guys for
They
them
do.
to really be legit. Because
Right.
in my opinion, I don't think they can beat the Nuggets. I don't
I
think
don't
they
think
can
they will
beat
either.
the Lakers either in the
No.
7-game series right now.
No.
Unless they sign another good big man.
Yeah.
If they sign somebody like Brooke Lopez, who recently re-signed with the Bucks yesterday, they could have been even.
I think
better
they.
team.
I think that would have helped them.
That would have pushed them over the edge, but
Yeah.
they need some players, bro. They need to start signing some people.
Yeah.
Who else we gotta talk about? Let's talk about the Phoenix Suns. I don't know if you saw the report. This was like an hour ago.
I did.
The
Eric
Suns-
Gordon.
Yeah, they just signed Aaron Gordon. So give me a rating. Letter grade.
So we're talking about just specifically free agency, not their entire offseason, right?
Just the free agency.
I give it a B.
Yeah.
Eric Gordon gives you like some shooting off the bench, which is something the Suns desperately need. Considering that they got rid of their entire bench for KD, and you got rid of your last like bench shooter in Landry Shamet.
Exactly.
So signing this was definitely a must need for them.
And
And they also got Damian Lee too, who's
They re-signed him.
who's decent. So, I mean, like, who knows if like the Suns are able to get like a bunch of guys on like veteran minimums and stuff like that, maybe they have a
bunch
chance.
of guys. They
Yeah.
actually signed a fuck ton of guys yesterday. Once
Yeah.
free agency started, they signed like 6 guys in the first 2 minutes. They just
Oh,
gave them veteran minimums. I don't know their names.
yeah.
I forget.
Yeah,
They
yeah,
signed
it's
the
like
guys from
Drew Eubanks,
Yeah.
Keita Bates, Diop, and then like
Chimezi Metu, Watanabe from the Nets.
You say Watanabe is put some respect on his name.
Okay, I'll put some respect. He's a good 3-point shooter. I'll put some
Exactly.
respect. Yeah.
Exactly.
But I mean, when it comes to the Suns, they made some. They had to do what they had to do.
Yeah,
they had to fill
exactly.
out their roster. They only had 5 guys on their team. They kept Damian Lee, as you mentioned. Eric Gordon's a good punch off the bench when it comes to scoring.
Yeah.
So that's a good thing. So the Suns for sure is a contending team.
Yeah.
Even though they basically don't have a bench outside of Eric Gordon, they have shooting.
Yeah.
And that's all
Right.
you need, really. My biggest concern is that they don't have defense.
Yeah, they don't.
Even though offensively they're gonna be crazy, defensively they're gonna get fucking exposed.
Yeah.
This isn't like the Warriors where you had like KD and Steph, because
Yeah.
at least they were backed by Draymond. Who's
Right.
defensive player of the year, won it multiple times. Who do you have guarding the paint? DeAndre Ayton. Like, come on. Like that's Nikola Jokic's pet right there. You know what I'm saying? We saw in their playoff series he was getting destroyed by him.
He was.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
that's the thing. Like, the Suns are a contending team for sure. Even though
No, they definitely are.
yeah.
It's just the fact that there's just concerns with their bench.
I mean, their bench is still weak, but at least they
Yeah,
filled
it's
it
very
out.
weak.
And at least they got a guy like Eric Gordon who can fill up the score sheet. So they got
Yeah.
something out of this offseason.
Hmm.
So I'll give it a B, B
Yeah, I'll give it a
minus.
B.
Let's talk about Philly. Your team.
F. F tier. We
F.
signed Patrick Beverly. That's it.
He's a good energizer. I
Yeah.
don't think that's
Okay.
bad.
Yeah. Because that's the issue we had.
You just give it an F. That's crazy, bro.
Yeah,
Have you
because we haven't
given
done-
have
we
you
haven't
given
done
up on the
anything,
Sixers?
dude.
Have you given up on your team?
Basically, at this point, until like we trade James Harden, like I'm giving up on this team.
Wow. Wow.
Like I can't with this team. Like they hyped this team up so much. Like every single season, I'm just done.
Yeah.
I'll be back next. I'll be back next season. We all know.
I mean, they might get rid of Embiid at this point. Like,
I don't think you can't. You can't do it because if you hypothetically trade him, we still have Maxi, like, and which means that we're probably not going to be good enough to get the first pick. We'll probably be
they
like,
might just move Maxi as well then. Because honestly, in a couple of years, you're gonna have to. If you guys, bro, in the next couple of years, at this point with Embiid, it's championship or bust.
it is. No,
You know?
we all know that.
You know, so it's like you have the MVP, one of the best players in the league,
Right.
and your team hasn't really done anything to supplement him to make
Right.
a real decent championship run. Even though this past playoff run, in my opinion, they should have made the conference finals.
They definitely. Oh,
'Cause he
believe
choked
me,
the
bro.
choked the
Yeah,
game away.
exactly. Yeah, you don't need to remind me.
Yeah, so it's like they have what it takes, and now they're gonna have to lose those pieces because James Harden's gonna leave. He requested out.
Yeah. Well, I mean, hopefully we get something good for, like in like a trade in like a trade for him.
Yeah, if you guys
And
if you guys
and
send him to,
unfortunately,
yeah,
like
go ahead, my bad.
unfortunately, like if like it boils down to the fact that like we're gonna have to keep him, then I mean, I guess we're gonna have to, and then hopefully we can find something at the trade deadline, maybe.
How would you
Like-
feel if you traded Harden for Dame?
See, I don't think that's gonna happen. Mainly because the main reason is because of the fact that any trade that involved with Dame, it would have to probably involve Maxi, and I just don't think I can give. I don't think I want
You
to give
probably
him
can
up.
throw in like Tobias Harris and not include Maxi, and throw a bunch of throw a bunch of role players and shit, and like a bunch of. Do you guys have draft capital?
No.
No. Oh fuck.
No.
Okay, you're not getting Dame then. Never mind.
Exactly.
Never mind.
Exactly. Like
I mean,
the
Dame
Heat
doesn't want to go there.
Yeah, exactly. The Heat package is more intriguing anyway. It's Tyler Hero, Duncan Robinson, and like I think one or two firsts.
Yeah,
That's a
couple
better trade
bums off the
package.
bench, a couple role
Yeah.
players. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I heard that Miami and Portland's gonna try to do a three-way trade, so Dame
Yeah,
could
I
go
heard-
to
I did hear about
Miami.
that.
But bro,
Yeah.
imagine if Dame goes somewhere else.
And I would be shocked.
Yeah, I mean, Dame going to Miami would be crazy.
It was the same way I was shocked when the Mavericks got Kyrie.
Yeah, yeah. So what are some other things we can talk about? The Knicks. Let's talk about my Knicks.
Yeah, it looks like yeah.
I'll give them a B minus. We haven't really done anything. All we signed is Dante DiVincenzo, which is a good signing in my opinion. Another Villanova Wildcat to
Yeah, another one.
Josh Hart and Jalen Brunson. Now we need Mikal
Yeah.
Bridges to finish off the quadruple team.
Yeah,
know,
he's not.
the
He's
four-way.
not.
Yeah, he's not. He becomes a free agent in 2026. He's not gonna be traded
Yeah.
there. So
He's not.
unless
yeah.
he becomes a free agent until then and wants to join, it won't happen.
Or he
But-
gets traded again.
yeah, which I don't think that's gonna happen. He's probably happy in Brooklyn.
Yeah.
But that being said, it's like the Knicks, they're probably gonna run it back with the same team. Jalen
Yeah.
Brunson's probably gonna be the main guy now because
No,
what we
definitely.
saw in the playoffs. Julius
Yeah.
Randle, even though he's a 25-10 guy in the regular
Dubious
season,
handles.
he becomes dubious handles, as you said, in the playoffs, unfortunately. So, having, the biggest problem with the Knicks is that during the playoffs we lack shooting.
Yeah.
So adding someone like Dante DiVincenzo, who's a decent shooter,
Yeah.
he's already one of the better shooters on this team, coming from the
Right.
Warriors. So I do like the pickup. I think it makes sense chemistry wise.
Yeah.
It makes all the sense in the world because he was actually roommates with Brunson in college.
He was. Yeah.
Played on that team with Josh Hart. So
Yeah.
chemistry wise, it makes sense. He
Yeah.
fits in that role. He's a good defender, good 3-and-D player. I like it. Hopefully we can pick someone else up. I hope we can get another wing player, because we lost Obi Toppin.
That's
Having
true.
another wing player that could, guard the wing, shoot threes, on top of that, because right now the Knicks are kind of small.
Yeah.
We have our two centers, Mitchell Robinson, Isaiah Hartenstein. They're big, but at the small forward, power forward position, we're kind of lacking there. Josh Hart
Yeah.
may have to run the 4. There's gonna be
Yeah.
times where we may have to run. If we don't get another big wing player, we may have to run a 4 guard lineup, which would suck. So hopefully we pick up another guy. But for now, B-. I'm satisfied with getting DDV. Any other team we could talk about?
The Mavericks won.
Oh, they got Kyrie. So they retained Kyrie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll give it a B.
Yeah, I get a B. Yeah, like you did what you needed to do, and now, like, through doing this, you have to now at least prove that you can win, like, get past the second round.
Make the playoffs first.
Make the playoffs first, yeah.
Because last year they tanked.
Yeah, they
At
tanked,
the end of the
yeah.
season, they called it quits. Like, okay, we're gonna start losing some games. And you know what's crazy? That was our pick. The Mavericks had the 10th pick, and had they won one more game, that 10th pick would have been ours. Or we would have had the 11th pick. Excuse me.
I did. Yeah, I remember. I do remember that actually.
Yeah, the Mavericks tanked for a pick, which they got fined for. Which unfortunately we should have gotten that pick back. Like they should have changed that shit. It was annoying.
What pick was that for again? Like when did you guys get that? Yeah, that draft pick. What was?
Oh, it's from the Porzingis trade.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That was the one thing I'm assuming
it was the pick swap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
So if they had top 10, which they did, it would have went to Dallas. If they had won a couple more games of the regular season, the pick would have went to 11th, and it would have stayed with us. Which they got Derek Lively Jr. So, center from Duke. Who else? I guess the Heat. They haven't really done anything.
I can't say anything with the Heat just yet because the Damian thing hasn't went through, like because the whole Damian Lillard thing like hasn't like finished up yet.
Yeah.
I think once that like finishes up, regardless of where he goes, I think that's when I can start to I can judge them.
Yeah, facts. I agree for sure because it's only been 2 days in free agency, so
but
we haven't seen everything you just.
I mean, judging from like what I've been seeing from the Heat, like if I were to give one, it maybe like a D because like they are losing a lot of their like players.
I mean,
you lost Gabe Vincent, you lost Max Strus.
Yeah, I mean, as long as you have like if you do get Dame. As long as you have that trio of Bam Adebayo, Jimmy Butler, and Dame, that's a championship team, bro.
Yeah.
You know?
No doubt.
So it's like you have, Bam is one of the best defending bigs in the league. Dame is one of the best players in the league, and Jimmy Butler in the playoff time. We see what happens.
Jimmy Butler.
So it'll work out if they do get him, which is most likely going to happen. I really hope Dame does go to Miami. I don't want to see him in like Brooklyn. That would stink.
Yeah. No.
I don't want to see him in San Antonio.
No.
I think it'd be cool if he goes to Philly. That'd be
cool. But I don't think it's gonna happen.
It probably won't happen. But Portland is listening to other offers outside of just Miami. But if Dame is gonna go to Miami, it's gonna be a 3-way trade.
It's definitely going to be.
Brooklyn might be involved in the 3-way. They'll probably get Tyler Hero if that does happen. And we'll see what goes from there. But unfortunately, Twitter is like fucking up. Do you hear about that shit?
Yeah. Thanks, Elon.
Bro, Elon Musk, you're stupid, bro. Bro, it's the middle of NBA free agency, and
this is what you decided to do.
Exceeded, bro. I'm on Twitter refreshing my feed, trying to like see the signings and shit because as an NBA fan, I think we can agree. This is the most exciting time of the offseason. Yeah. Free agency and summer league is starting soon next week.
Yeah.
So yeah. Anything else you want to add? We'll end it off here.
So some other signings that we got. So Lonnie Walker has gone to the Nets. I mean, I think no one really he was a good role player for the Lakers.
Yeah.
Other than that, there's probably a lot of the big moves have already happened, and a lot of the next big moves that are gonna happen are most likely trades.
Yeah. The biggest moves that will definitely be trades for sure.
Right. Exactly.
Cam Johnson also signed a $100 million contract with the Nets, so keeping him is good.
I like him.
No, he's a really good shooting power forward.
Yeah.
He's a very good.
I kind of wish the Sixers drafted him, but whatever.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. Anything else or?
Nope.
Okay. Yeah, that's gonna be all for today's episode. If anything happens within the week, which probably will, the Dame trade, maybe he goes to Philly, maybe he goes to Brooklyn, or someone else major like James Harden, for example.
Right.
Philly's trying to, manage a trade for Harden to go somewhere.
Right.
Possibly the Clippers. I think that's gonna be my prediction. I think Harden's
Mhm.
going to the Clippers.
Right.
Clippers are gonna get sent some capital and some players back to
Mhm.
Philly. So we'll see what
Exactly.
happens from there. So we'll talk about that as more news come out later this week.
Right.
So make sure you guys like and subscribe, and we'll see y'all later.
Right.
Peace.